So I ate the rest of that, whatever was left over from last night.
How was that?
Alright.
Was it alright?
Fries were good.
That's good.
What'd you guys do?
We,
went to the dinner.
Denier?
Yeah.
Denari?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Andrew and I played some Halo. Then Kevin came over. We went to the diner, and apparently Andrew's little brother was there. So we,
Was he there with a woman?
Several.
there were several, yeah.
His harem.
His harem.
He had like 8 of them with him there. Just him and no other guys.
The harem. Absolute harem.
That is so funny. We asked the waitress, like, yo, can we order a cake to that guy's table?
It's his birthday.
His birthday. His birthday isn't until October.
And did you?
Yeah, and she got like a bunch of the girls who were there at the table to sing happy birthday to him. It's like these random kids.
It's pretty funny.
What cake did you get him?
Rainbow cake.
Rainbow cake.
Everyone likes rainbow cake.
Yeah.
Was he embarrassed?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, what did he say to you when you got home?
Nothing. He didn't say anything.
Did he say anything today?
Not really.
Is he ever going to speak to you
He's
again?
not mad.
Oh.
I thought it was your idea. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
What do you,
It was his idea.
Wait,
I was
what do
like,
you
oh,
mean
why?
that makes sense? What the fuck does that mean? He doesn't know me.
I like that. It's good.
It was a
It's
good,
funny.
it was a good prank. I owe Kevin $4 now.
At the end of the day, basically all we do is just give him a free slice of cake. So it's like,
No harm, no foul.
yeah,
Got a good chuckle.
it's a good prank, bro.
It's a good prank.
I'm sure those girls liked it. They like to just like, they gave him an excuse to scream at him. So.
Probably.
They do like to scream.
They do.
I also have a habit of screaming whenever they see me.
Should like if they see
And then running in the opposite direction.
It's crazy
So
effect I have on
so you
women.
you just gotta like go swift karate chop to the throat.
They're usually too far away.
Yeah, extend your reach, Tris. Get a train. You gotta be fast, be swift.
They never get close.
You gotta close the distance, Tris.
You and your long skeleton legs.
You need to do a tactical roll.
I try, but my shins shatter every time.
More calcium.
I need more calcium.
You try more calcium, skeleton boy.
Too much of a bone daddy.
Stop.
No more.
Jesus Christ, that's annoying.
Make it stop.
Bone daddy.
I'm a bone daddy. Call me bone daddy.
Them bones.
I'm your bone.
Them bones, them bones.
Your bone daddy. You will dress
Alright,
me
now
as
Chris.
such.
Is Aquaman a chick flick?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Well, that was easy. That was an easy.
Yeah, dude. Fuck.
We did it.
We did it. That was easy.
I mean, just the fun, carefree, yet the way of the world on his shoulders, whatever her name was. Mira? Was her name Mira?
Sure.
Have you seen Aquaman?
Yeah. Tomorrow. We want a date.
Okay. There you go. That explains it.
With Kevin, it was a triple date.
There's a triple date.
Nah, yeah, dude. The fun bubbling and growing. You get to witness their relationship grow from a mere burden that Aquaman was on her shoulders to almost like a fun thing where it's like, yeah, he annoyed her, but you could feel the love between them growing slowly.
And then they fuck.
And then they go to the Sahara, and oh my god, the sparks.
Sand.
There was so much sand.
Sand.
And
That was so cute. And then they went to Italy. Oh my god, my heart.
And they got the roses, and then she made that dolphin.
She ate the rose.
She ate
it was
the
so
rose. It was so funny.
It was so funny.
Oh,
it was
my God.
so cute. And then he was like showed her around. And, I wanted to be her in his big muscly arms.
is that when Black Manta showed up and then shot?
Oh, like he
people
was a
with
real villain.
Yeah, please.
But he was weak.
Weak.
Oh,
Lamest villain ever.
Absolute chick flick. Because, I mean, what Jason Mendoza, wasn't that? That's an artist. That's a singer.
Jason Mraz, that's his name
That's
now.
his name. He just ripped, constantly shirtless. You got the romance, you got the buff dude. Absolute chick
He's got
flick.
the long hair and the great eyes.
Oh my god, the
and
eyes.
teeth.
Oh, the fake eyes.
All right, so that's the review of Aquaman. For everybody.
complete and utter chick flick, dude, and I loved
Perfect
it.
chick flick.
I
What-
wouldn't go that far, but chick flick.
Well, what makes a chick flick?
You get the romance, you get the hot dude.
Does it have to have romance though? Like Mean Girls is probably a chick flick. It didn't have like hardly any romance.
Well, that's a chick flick because they bully each other, and that's what women do.
Yeah. Prove them wrong. Do it. You can't.
They-
You can't do
A
it.
chick
Girls
flick,
are really mean.
a
though.
chick flick
Yeah.
mirrors their lives. So Mean Girls, they bully each other.
Mhm.
Aquaman, love they can't have because they're mean.
Conspiracy. They talk about people they don't like and how to destroy them.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Conspiracies about the Nazis.
No, yeah, absolute chick flick, dude.
Yeah.
Absolute chick flick. Dude, yeah, no, it was alright. It was alright. It had its moments. Had a lot of bad moments. Had a lot of good moments. Okay, maybe not a lot. Had redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
Like him being shirtless.
Fuck.
Dude.
Wait.
Dude.
Does he have nipples?
Fuck if I care, dude.
Because I'm trying to think back, and I don't ever remember seeing his nipples.
I mean, they were probably tatted up.
Yeah, I was like,
I wonder
bro,
how it
where are his
feel-
nipples?
I
He
wonder
looks
how it
like a
feels
fucking
like-
action figure.
I wonder if it feels like to get a tattoo on your nip.
Probably horrible.
But like, I mean, like, some people get their nips pierced.
They do. They do.
Like, what's the appeal? Oh, that's a topic. Explain the appeal of getting your nips pierced, Martin.
I don't think we have answers for this, Tris.
I mean, when girls do it, it makes their titties shiny.
Does it?
Yeah,
Shiny?
It makes two
shiny.
very.
Because you got like the fucking metal balls on
It
either
doesn't make
side.
your tits shiny.
They're pretty small though.
I mean, just get a bigger one.
The,
Like, does it
the
feel
actual
good?
tit is the nipple.
Does it feel
Well,
good?
yeah, I
Like,
know.
is it pleasurable? Is it like have a good sensation? Is it an increased stimuli?
I don't know. Maybe it feels nice in your mouth. I guess. I don't. I
Alright,
don't know.
well, we're gonna get your nip pierced, and you'll tell me how it feels, and
Yeah.
I'll suck on it and tell you how it feels.
We
on
have,
my
we have to test this out.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just kinky.
I think it's kinky.
It's just like a statement. Like, yeah, look at me. I'm down for anything. I got my nipples pierced. What have you got?
Pain is tight.
I wonder, like, if like.
It's like, what can you do to me that
I bet whoever
fucking
got
dude
it-
didn't?
God, right on me in the face right now. I won't even feel it. Swear to God. Do
Because
it.
I got
Come
my
on.
nipples pierced.
Yeah.
I bet the guy who does the piercing enjoys nipple piercings.
I'll bet.
Like,
Unless
nice,
they're really gross when they
tits.
come in. Unless
Unless they're gross, yeah. I was just like, yeah, tip, yeah. I've seen girls with nipple piercings, like through their shirt though. 'Cause it's the same girl. The
I
same,
was like, what? Oh, hold
it's
on.
like the same girls who get their nip pierced also don't wear bras. So like, it's the same
Like
demographic.
old women.
What? No, don't wear bras.
fucking got him, bro.
Old women don't wear bras.
No, like a lot of women do wear bras.
Old women don't.
Okay, I'm not going into that demographic. I'm talking about our age group. If like most of them, like not many, but some don't wear bras in public, and they're usually the same type of people who get nipple piercings.
You know why? It's probably because the bra is like uncomfortable against their pierced nipple.
I wonder if it
That
has
might be the kind of thing. It's just like it presses on the nipple, so like you can feel the metal inside.
or
and it's
because they're
uncomfortable.
exhibitionists.
I don't know what the deal is, but like, I don't know.
Okay, that might be more likely.
I don't know
I don't know, because that's like they just don't wear it because it's uncomfortable.
because they have the piercing, or in general.
Well, so just in general, they just don't wear it because it's uncomfortable.
And that would make that the only direct effect of the piercing.
Well, they I'm stuttering. They don't. Sometimes they just don't wear bras just because it's uncomfortable.
I
Like it
guess
pierced
so.
or not.
I thought they meant to be comfortable.
Bras.
In theory,
I think
guess.
in theory they're supposed to be, but like
So does
when
that
you
mean
have
got-
just
you
have
the
like this
wrong
elastic.
size if it isn't.
Well, no. It's just like you have just like an elastic thing pressed up against your person like all the time.
I mean,
It'd be like if you were to wear a belt that was like one loop too tight.
get a looser one. That seems like more like an elastic.
But I feel like it
I
would
feel like
also
it's
be
a
uncomfortable
more-
if it was too loose because if
Well, I
it's
feel
might
like,
be.
but like you know,
because then it's
you
like
know,
chafing.
like leggings, for example. Those are like tight, but not too tight. I imagine, or else they would never, because they all wear them all the time. But like it's skin tight, right? But I doubt it's not like
I think
constricting them.
It's different though because a lot of them have like a wire on the bottom part of it that's like, so you have like this Because like that to like give it like structure. Because otherwise
Yeah.
you would just wear a piece of cloth
Oh,
basically.
well, that's the thing. That's a different thing. That's a different kind.
It's
That's a
for, like,
bralette or something
support.
like that.
No, it's for support.
It's like a. I'm saying if you didn't have the wire, I thought that would which gives it the support. I mean, it's called like a. I don't know.
I think
a
so,
fashion
yeah.
statement. Like a fashion.
Anyway, but it's like, I guess just like having like a hard piece of wire pressed up against your chest all the time.
I think it should be cushion. I don't know. I should try making a bra.
Just wear one.
See, yes.
There's the engineer one.
That's
Is the engineer
that
one.
would be gay.
That would be gay. We can't have that.
But if
Yes,
I were
you
to,
are gay.
But if
Shut
I were to
up.
make one and then try that
That's
one on,
different.
That's different.
That's
Lately,
science.
That's science. Science is for men.
Exactly. Women can't do science. We all know this.
As proven by, what's her name, Madame Curie, who killed herself
Oh,
with
yeah.
radiation because
Yes.
she tried science.
That was just the last
Marie,
woman.
Marie Curie.
She's the last
Yeah.
woman who ever
Yeah.
tried science, and she's dead now because of science.
She was the most recent woman in science. She died.
Jesus Christ, you guys.
Can you name a more recent scientist that was female?
Cassie.
She's
a
dead
doctor.
too,
She's a doctor.
and she died too, just for the same reason.
Medical science.
She's a doctor.
It's medical science.
That's not real science.
She's a doctor. Yeah,
It's
it's not.
That's medicine.
Medical
Medicine's not
science.
science.
That's a fake science, like biomedical engineering.
Oh, so she died. Besides, she's exposed to radiation too, so she's gone as well.
Yeah, I think she's worked with radiation, probably.
Probably.
I mean, she's working with rat brains, so
That's
I mean,
true,
Why
yeah.
stop? Why stop at rat brains?
Oh, wait, she harvests, what's it called?
rat brains.
Homeless people.
Homeless people brains.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, just
Yeah,
works,
they definitely have radiation in them.
Does she works in a
Yeah.
hospital and harvests people, and hospitals
She probably
euthanize the
went.
homeless.
She probably went to like the drifters camping out in the Fukushima exclusion zone.
Oh, she totally did. Or just Eastern Europe, in general.
Just that general area.
It's the whole thing. They're not. No one's gonna miss those people.
They're homeless.
And probably, yeah.
You gotta abduct the homeless people, dude.
The drifters squatting in a fucking.
That's what doctors
it's-
do. They
If their
harvest
door
organs.
doesn't lock, they're homeless.
I'm not saying I disagree with the harvesting of homeless people organs. I'm just saying it's what they do.
Yeah, it's what happened. It's what hospitals are for.
Yeah, I'm not saying I disagree with it and I should stop. I'm just saying it's what doctors
If not
do.
that, what would a hospital be built for?
It's just what doctors do. It's just a statement of fact, not
Yeah.
criticism.
I don't know. Or not to harvest homeless people. If they're not harvesting homeless people in a.
Heal the
It's
rich.
for scary places and video games.
That's mental asylum.
That's true. Hospitals too.
Right,
So
yeah.
that's-
hospitals are
Yeah, it could be
scary.
hospital, you're right.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like hospitals, they have like 3 jobs. Be scary, harvest organs of the homeless, and heal the rich.
yeah,
And that covers everyone.
pretty much.
That's all the demographics right there.
Some do all 3.
And you know what? God bless them.
Well, yeah, moral story. Mary Curie, last woman in science, died radiation.
He has a point.
Thank you, women.
You can't
Very-
argue with that. I mean,
Last
sound.
one ever.
Is Michelle
Ever.
Obama a scientist?
No.
Okay.
She went to. What did she do?
She
She-
was.
I mean,
Flexed really hard.
I mean, she went
She
to a
ma-
prominent school. I can't
She
remember for what.
married Barack Obama and
She-
ruined school lunches forever.
I'd like.
She
made
flexed
the
her
point.
arms and solved racism.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say the N-word. Get down, Mrs. Obama.
Miss Obama, get down!
It's a good meme. Like that one.
We did it. We did it, Skipper. We did it, Mr. Obama. We solved racism. Not if I have anything to say about it. I'm gonna say the N-word. Mr. Obama, get down! He, like, says it.
No.
Yeah, that's our topic about. That's our feelings on science.
Science.
That's science, all of it, the whole thing.
The entire science
The
field.
entire
The
field.
entire goddamn field of science.
That's the entire field. Andrew's a scientist.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's a lie.
Yeah.
He's a history scientist.
Science of
fake
history.
science.
No, that's biomedical engineering.
Real fake science.
That's a good meme amongst engineers. All engineers shit on biomedical engineers.
It's
That's not
pretty
just a joke because we know a biomedical
It's
engineer. That's just a joke amongst engineers. That,
pretty funny. It only makes it better that we know one.
yeah, it's just makes it funnier. It's also funny because she's a woman.
And she's trying to do science.
Now, most women in engineering are biomedical engineering.
This is not real science.
That probably explains why it's 50-50.
It's not 50-50. It's only 50-50 at Cornell because they have a 3-time higher acceptance rate for women. That's not
Gotta pump those numbers up.
Cassie definitely earned to get in. Like, she just only meets the requirements, but it is true that their acceptance rate for women is 3 times higher.
So is the ratio...
The ratio is 50-50. But it's only 50-50 because they accepted 3 times as many women or whatever.
So, like, Cornell is just, like... Is Cornell's overall ratio, like, 50-50?
For engineering, or biomedical engineering or something like that, yeah.
Oh.
I don't think overall, but probably overall it's probably about. But yeah, but no, she definitely deserved to get in.
She's a smart cookie.
She's very smart. But yeah, no, but like it's
Shame
kind
she
of
chose biomedical
gross.
engineering.
Since like colleges will do that. Like they hire just to meet to have the same. Like,
Oh, they
it's
definitely
not based
do.
on merit.
It's definitely
some of it
targeted.
is based on merit.
But a lot of it's
I'm
targeted.
sure everyone who applied there was very talented, but they accepted 3 times as many women as guys just to meet a quota.
It's very much targeted.
I don't agree with that. I believe in merit. How do you feel, Martin?
I'm for merit also.
Merit's all
but
that
if
matters.
the entire place decides, hey, quotas. Like, if you want to keep your school 1-to-1, then, like, obviously you'll pick based on merit within a demographic. You know, like, say we need like 50% of all of our students going to the school need to be women. Then they'll just pick from all of the women that applied based on merit.
Yeah, but those aren't real quotas, though. They just set them themselves to make them look good.
It's also probably like a fairness thing, because
Guess so.
like at the same time, like if they're picking strictly based on merit and like 90% of all the applicants are men, then obviously like no woman's really gonna want to go to a school that's 9 to 1. You know?
Fair enough.
Like even Stevens with its terrible thing, it's like 3 to 1. You still get girls who want to go there, right? Just because there are enough opportunities and other women there that you can do shit.
I know. I agree with like making sure it's not on.
Because I mean, would you want to go to somewhere that you're just not represented at all, and then just pray that maybe there are some provisions in place to make life easy for you?
I agree with saying that like there should be like a good representation of everyone, but like I don't think it's. Also, at the same time, I think there should be a balance of like you shouldn't be able to brag about. You shouldn't be able to brag about it when you fixed it. Like you fixed the ratio, so you shouldn't be able to brag about that. You should be able to say like. I don't know.
If you keep it 1 to 1, then it's just sort of like.
But like, say like you have, say like you have like say you're trying to get into a program, and a girl is trying to get into a program, and like besides academics, like say, but you're better in academics, but like, extracurricular you're like,
Well, I wouldn't be like
but you didn't
applying
get
based
in,
on
she
the
did.
overall, because it would be like, say like, all right, let's just say like the school has a population of 10,000, right? And they say that like we like to keep our ratios 50-50, right? You're still going to be 1 in 5,000, and you're not even directly really competing against a woman in that case.
But is
Because
it
they're going
fair
to-
if
They're going to keep it at 10,000. It's just you're fighting for 1 of 5,000 spaces at that point. You're fighting against other men, not necessarily women at that point.
But is it fair if there's, say, 10,000 men applicants and only 6,000 women applicants?
That really has nothing to do with the school at that point, because
Well,
they can't
'cause
really
then
help
but if they're
who
only
wants... They
restricting
can't.
it.
Well, the school can't help who wants to apply to the school, you know?
Yeah, but I'm saying if they only accept 5,000 of each, so despite
It's just like...
there could be way
but the
more qualified
proportion-
men, but because of the fixed cap, they can't get in.
I guess it's just the
Or
luck,
men or women. It can be either
the luck
way.
of the draw. But obviously, if they're qualified enough to get in somewhere, then like if they can go to like an equally good program somewhere else.
What if they don't want to go somewhere else? What if there's one school you want to go to? Like, I don't think that should be an argument saying just go somewhere else.
I mean, if you didn't get into your top school, you know, like
Well, if that was based on like educational reasons and like stuff like that, I'd understand.
well, it is also based on merit because it's your merit compared against all these other guys' merits. You know, just because there are 10,000 guys applying, it's not like a probability thing.
Yeah, I'm saying, but in other words,
It's not like
think
just
this
because
game-
there's 10,000 people getting in, and like, it's not like there's a lottery where you like of those 10,000 people. Like I could kind of get it if it was like completely based on chance, but it would be based on merit. It just so happens that there were fewer women, but of those people, like, they're in a order based on merit. Just like the men are based in an order based on merit. There might be more competition, but as a result, it's just more selective.
well, I'm saying if there's more competition, shouldn't they have a higher number of slots to get in? If it's 10,000 people, right?
Yeah.
School, and there's 10,000 applicants of men and only 5,000 applicants of women. These numbers don't really make too much sense, but
Yeah,
for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
But like, shouldn't there be more slots for men than women?
Maybe. Because
I mean, it does come down to merit again.
it would come
Because
down...
like, if it's like what if all the 10,000 dudes suck, like, then like yeah, definitely accept the women. But like, what if
But then you still have
say
the
what if
5,000
all
spaces.
10,000 men had better qualifications than the women? I definitely don't accept only the guys. You gotta I think you definitely need to have representation of both. But like, maybe I would skew it to say 6 and 4
Yeah, 3-2.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I understand where you're coming from, but it's also like to make the university or the program appealing. Just the university or the program, because just because you're going into training doesn't necessarily mean that it's at a university.
Sure.
But in order to keep it as widely, like, obviously, like, the school still needs to pull in people.
yeah, this
And they want to pull in, like...
businessy. It seems like the school's trying to make
Yeah.
money, not educate.
But also, in order to, like, entice people to come and become educated, right? Because they need the money from tuition in order to pay for all the facilities to keep running, right?
Yes.
And they need to sort of pay all the people who are working there. So it does sort of need to run like a business, I suppose. As unfortunate as it sounds, that's just how it be.
Well, I mean, like, if you still accept 10,000 people, you're still making about the same.
All right, so say you took all 10,000 men, right?
You'd make the same as if you accept.
You would
5
make
and
the same
5.
amount of money, but then in future years it becomes less appealing to women, because it's like, well, we had that's a 100% failure rate for women at that point.
Well, I would do like a ratio. I think I would do like if 60% of all applicants were men, I would accept about 60%.
All right,
the
but
men applicants.
if that trend continues in future years, then you end up with a 3-2 ratio. And obviously, it will look like if you looked up the ratio online on like your website, it'll say we have a 3-2 ratio, and then that'll suddenly appear less appealing to women.
Well, I think it'd be
Maybe.
fair. I think people might like that almost. Be like, I'm letting you in, not based on like your I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I don't know. I just feel like it'd be wrong to overrepresent a group. I feel like that's almost overrepresented, even if the numbers are still smaller. Like say,
What if you had
60% of men applicants got in, but they made up only 40% of the total applicants. I think they'd be overrepresented because they were minority.
maybe?
Andrew, how do you feel about anything?
Yes.
I'm trying to think, because it's also the sort of thing where you could also not release your demographics. And you just say, we accept 10,000 people. Period.
Yeah.
We don't say one way or the other, like, what color they are, what gender they are, what sort of sexual preferences they have, what their favorite color is. Just like, we accept 10,000 people. And then that would eliminate the imbalance of like perceived how a school is just based on like the numbers given.
Well, then you get a problem in stuff like engineering, where it's like most applicants will be men. And it's like, in that case, I feel like you do need to accept more women. But at the same time...
But you could do that behind the scenes. Just don't release the
numbers.
Just don't release the numbers to the public. Especially if you're like a private institution and you want to give off...
I don't like private institutions.
No, they're not
They're
ideal.
They're not bad, but like... At least for college, it's better, but I feel like there shouldn't be private high schools. Well, they can be, but like it seems like they kind of have an advantage.
Yeah. Well, you're paying to win.
You're paying like college level money at a high school level.
Is the quality of the education better?
Probably. It depends where you live.
It's hard to say.
That's the thing. It's like, cause like in the United States, like public education is like funded by the local area, like your local taxes.
Yeah.
So if you're in a bad area, your public education is gonna be terrible. In a good area, it's gonna be great.
Well, your cost of living is also different across the United States.
Yeah.
So even though you're like the cost of living in like North Carolina is significantly less than in New Jersey, that means that they're going to have less funding to buy from a wholesaler. Even though like say like they're like they need to buy school supplies, and like the school supplier that everyone goes to is in Canada. Like the cost of buying things is going to be the same no matter where you are in the US basically. So like if you're in North Carolina, you have less money to buy school supplies just because your cost of living is less and therefore people pay less taxes.
Yeah.
So
But like if you're in a nicer area, your public system's gonna be better.
Yeah.
They have more money compared to one of the worse economic area, which kind of is a good thing about private is that say if you're in a bad area but you can afford a private one, you can get a better education than the one that's public.
That's what happened.
But odds are if you're in a bad area, you can't afford the private one.
Well, that's what happened with The Other Wes Moore. Did you read that one?
Sounds familiar. It's like
It was the one where
they're the
was
same name, but one guy
went
was
to
in the
prison.
ghetto, and one wasn't.
Yeah. Well, they were both in the ghetto.
But
The thing was they So one of them was like super prestigious, won all kinds of awards. He became a writer. He was in the military, and the other one was in jail. And he read the headline like, "Oh, this guy's the same name as me," and ended up in jail. Now I want to like see what his story is. And they came from very similar upbringings. It's just like in high school they diverged paths. Where one was like getting into trouble with like gangs and stuff, and the other one decided to go to a
special school, right?
military academy.
Yeah. So it's like that can be a good thing. It's like there are upsides, but at the college level, I don't know if I see the appeal. That's much of an appeal.
I mean, the quality of education is largely the same no matter where you go, because at that point you're just learning the skills of the trade.
Yeah.
And like pretty much the tools are standardized across professions. Like
so
the equipment you'll see in like a recording studio is largely the same no matter where you go. It's just like there'll be minute differences, but everything that you will encounter is largely the same. I guess it's the same thing with engineering, like the 3D printers, the software you use, and all the.
We're doing the same kind of labs.
Yeah, and that's going to be
largely. We all use the same textbooks.
That's going to be largely the same no matter where you go.
Can't rewrite the laws of whatever you're doing.
Yeah, you can't change the laws of thermodynamics. It's like
it's the same.
Yeah, and every textbook is going to read it to you in the same way.
Each school doesn't use a different coding language.
Yeah, there's a finite number of coding languages, and it's not like...
It's up to the school to teach you them. It's like the job that requires you to use it or not. So, like, yeah. Andrew, what are your thoughts? You can't say yes this time, or no.
No.
Can't say no.
Maybe.
Can't say maybe.
Fuck.
Give me something else. Yeah, give me a statement. Give me a statement about anything you want.
My pee-pee comes out yellow.